Welcome to Eternal Enigma. You know the 72 demons of the Ars Goetia. You understand Hell's complete hierarchy. But today we're examining the entities that command above all others. The 7 princes of Hell, each governing a deadly sin, each commanding millions of demons, each operating at a level of power that makes even the Goetic kings seem insignificant. These aren't servants you can summon with grimoire rituals. These are the supreme commanders of the abyss itself. Before the 72, before the legions, before everything, there were 7. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support our team's dedication to bringing you so much high-quality knowledge. Let's meet the princes who rule Hell's dominion. The concept of 7 princes governing the 7 deadly sins emerged from medieval Christian demonology, particularly Peter Binsfeld's classification in 1589. But the idea is older, rooted in the recognition that different demons specialize in different forms of corruption. The 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth, aren't random moral categories. They're a comprehensive system covering all forms of spiritual corruption. Every sin falls under one of these 7 umbrellas. Each prince doesn't just represent their sin, they are that sin made conscious, eternal, and infinitely powerful. When humans commit their particular sin, they're channeling that prince's essence, becoming temporary vessels for infernal energy. The princes operate above the 72 Goetic demons: Baal, Paimon, Belith, all powerful, all dangerous, but they answer to the princes. The Goetic demons are middle management, the princes are the board of directors. Some traditions place Lucifer, Beelzebub, and Leviathan as the unholy trinity above the 7. Others include Lucifer among the 7 as Prince of Pride. We'll use Binsfeld's classification. The most influential: Lucifer, pride; Mammon, greed; Asmodeus, lust; Leviathan, envy; Beelzebub, gluttony; Satan, wrath; Belphegor, sloth. These are Hell's supreme commanders. Let's examine each prince, ascending from the 7th to the 1st. The demon who makes you give up. Belphegor's name possibly derives from Baal-peor, a Moabite god associated with licentious worship. By medieval times, he'd become Hell's prince of sloth, but sloth is profoundly misunderstood. Sloth isn't laziness or preferring rest over work. It's acedia, spiritual apathy, the decision to stop trying, the surrender of will. It's choosing comfortable numbness over difficult growth, preferring slow death to painful life. Belphegor makes people give up, not through force but through subtle whispers. Why bother? Nothing changes anyway. Effort is pointless. Just accept mediocrity. Comfort is enough. His physical form is described variously. Sometimes a beautiful woman, seduction into comfort. Sometimes a monstrous demon with horns and tail sitting on a toilet, mockery of human dignity. This latter image isn't crude humor. It represents degradation. Humans reducing themselves to base physical functions, abandoning higher aspirations. The sloth mechanism. Belphegor doesn't make you lazy about work. He makes you lazy about soul. You might work 80-hour weeks while being spiritually slothful, pursuing external success while internal development stagnates. His victims are functional depressives, people going through motions without genuine engagement, maintaining appearances while dying inside, choosing numbness over feeling because feeling requires vulnerability and effort. Modern manifestations: addiction, chemical-induced numbness, avoiding real problems, endless entertainment consumption, distraction from self-examination, spiritual bypassing, I'm fine, it's all good, while avoiding real work. Learned helplessness, giving up before trying. His domain: Belphegor reportedly rules regions of hell where souls experience eternal stagnation, not tortured actively but trapped in gray monotony, unable to change, grow, or die, existing in perpetual beige meaninglessness. This is perfect justice. Those who chose comfortable numbness over difficult growth receive eternal version of what they chose: unchanging, unchallenging, unending gray existence. Why he's dangerous. Other princes inspire dramatic sins: pride's grandiosity, wrath's violence, lust's passion. Belphegor inspires nothing, and that's the danger. He doesn't attack. He simply makes you stop defending. Depression, nihilism, existential despair, all his domain. The belief that nothing matters, that effort is futile, that change is impossible. This is sloth as spiritual suicide, choosing slow death over difficult life. His strategy: Belphegor doesn't work through temptation but through exhaustion. He waits until you're tired, physically, emotionally, spiritually, then offers rest that becomes permanent paralysis, the rest that seems like self-care but becomes self-imprisonment. Pure destructive fury. In traditions distinguishing Satan from Lucifer, Satan governs wrath, uncontrolled destructive rage, violence for its own sake, hatred that consumes everything including the hater. His name means adversary. He opposes, destroys, tears down. Where others corrupt toward specific ends, Satan corrupts toward pure negation. His goal isn't to rule but to destroy himself, others, creation itself, if possible. The wrath mechanism. Satan doesn't just inspire anger. He transforms justified anger into consuming hatred. Righteous indignation becomes murderous rage. Appropriate boundaries become cruel vengeance. Defense becomes offense, becomes atrocity. His specialty is escalation. A small slight becomes grudge, becomes obsession, becomes life-destroying vendetta. He takes natural protective anger and amplifies it until it destroys the angry person along with their targets. Physical form. Descriptions vary, but consistently emphasize violence, often depicted as covered in blood, wielding weapons, surrounded by fire. Some texts describe him as red-skinned, horned, with tail. The popular culture devil image actually represents Satan specifically, not all demons. Modern manifestations. Road rage, disproportionate fury over minor inconvenience, internet hate mobs, collective wrath feeding on itself, revenge that destroys the avenger, wars justified by self-righteous anger, cancel culture, righteous fury becoming cruel punishment. His domain. Satan rules hell's regions of eternal warfare, souls locked in combat, killing each other repeatedly, never dying but never winning, rage perpetuating indefinitely with no resolution or relief, perfect justice. Those who lived by violence experience eternal version, combat without victory, rage without satisfaction, destruction without release. Why he's dangerous. Wrath feels righteous. Unlike other sins that feel shameful, wrath feels justified. They deserve it. I'm making things right. Satan corrupts justice into vengeance, correction into cruelty, strength into brutality. His victims believe they're heroes fighting evil while actually embodying the evil they oppose. Crusaders become torturers. Revolutionaries become tyrants. Victims become abusers. His relationship to Lucifer. In hierarchies distinguishing them, Satan serves Lucifer. He's the enforcer, the destroyer, the aspect of hell that doesn't seduce but attacks. Where Lucifer is sophisticated corrupter, Satan is blunt instrument of rage. The Lord of Flies, the consumer Beelzebub. Lord of Flies, possibly corrupted from Beelzebub, Lord of the High Place, ranks among hell's most powerful entities, sometimes described as Lucifer's second in command, but here classified as Prince of Gluttony. Gluttony isn't just overeating, it's consumption without gratitude, taking without appreciation, appetite divorced from need. It's the sin of more, never satisfied, always consuming, unable to recognize enough. The gluttony mechanism. Beelzebub makes everything consumable. Food, obviously, but also experiences, people, attention, resources. His victims consume but never digest, taking in but gaining no nourishment, eating but never satisfied, accumulating but never fulfilled. Modern consumerism is Beelzebub's temple. Endless acquisition of goods that don't satisfy, eating food that doesn't nourish, consuming media that doesn't enlighten. The more epidemic, more possessions, more experiences, more everything, never enough. Physical form. Massive fly or human with fly features. The symbolism is perfect. Flies consume decay, feast on corruption, spread disease through their consumption. Beelzebub transforms humans into flies, consumers of garbage, spreaders of spiritual disease. Flies also represent meaningless motion, buzzing around, inability to focus, attention constantly shifting, attraction to waste, drawn to lowest rather than highest. Modern manifestations. Consumerism, buying things you don't need. Binge culture, food, TV, shopping, consuming without limits. Hoarding, accumulating without using. Attention addiction, consuming content validation endlessly. Resource exploitation, taking from earth without gratitude. His domain. Beelzebub's hell regions feature eternal feasts of dung and filth, souls forced to consume waste, never satisfied, hunger increasing with every bite. Perfect inversion. Those who consumed without gratitude consume garbage eternally. Why he's dangerous. Gluttony disguises itself as appreciation, enjoyment, treating yourself. Beelzebub makes consumption feel like self-care, accumulation feel like security, taking feel like deserving. His victims don't realize they're addicts until they're trapped, needing more food, more possessions, more attention, more experiences, always more, never satisfied, consuming themselves through consumption. The serpent of comparison. Leviathan, the massive sea serpent described in Job 41, creature no human can capture or control, represents envy, the sin of poisonous comparison. Envy differs from jealousy, fear of losing what you have. Envy is resenting what others have, poisonous comparison that makes others' blessings feel like your curse. It's the sin that destroys from within while focused outward. The envy mechanism. Leviathan makes you measure yourself against others constantly, not to improve but to resent. Every comparison becomes evidence of your inadequacy, others' success proof of your failure. He transforms gratitude into bitterness. You had enough until you saw someone with more. You were happy until comparison revealed you should be happier. He poisons contentment through comparison. Physical form. Massive serpent or dragon encircling the world, embodying envy's all-encompassing nature. Like the Ouroboros eating its tail, envy consumes itself. The envious person's resentment ultimately destroys them more than those they envy. The serpent also suggests poison. Envy is venom corrupting soul. Water, ocean, depth of emotion, drowning in feeling. Cold-blooded, envy makes you cold toward others' joy. Modern manifestations, keeping up with the Joneses, defining success by others' standards. Bitter competitiveness, winning matters less than others losing. Gossip, judgment, tearing down others to feel elevated. His domain. Leviathan's hell features souls separated by water walls, able to see others but never reach them, watching others appear to thrive while drowning in isolation. Perfect justice. Those who poisoned relationships through envy experience eternal separation. Why he's dangerous. Envy is self-inflicted torture. You harm yourself by resenting others. They don't suffer from your envy. You do. Leviathan tricks you into choosing poison and calling it justice. Social comparison is hardwired in humans' evolutionary survival mechanism, making everyone vulnerable. Leviathan doesn't create comparison. He corrupts it from self-improvement motivation into self-destroying resentment. His victims lose ability to celebrate others' success or appreciate their own blessings. Everything becomes competition. Everyone becomes threat. Joy becomes impossible. The demon of obsessive desire. Asmodeus appears both in the 72 Goetic demons as Asmodeus 3-2 and as Prince of Lust. His power spans multiple hierarchical levels. His presence in both lists indicates his extraordinary significance. Lust isn't just sexual desire, it's any uncontrolled appetite that consumes rather than satisfies, obsessive craving that destroys the craver. Sexual lust is primary manifestation, but lust applies to power, food, attention, any hunger that becomes addiction. The lust mechanism. Asmodeus doesn't satisfy desire, he intensifies it into obsession. Normal healthy sexuality becomes addiction. Pornography, infidelity, abuse. Appreciation of beauty becomes objectification. Connection becomes consumption. He operates through escalation. What satisfied yesterday bores today, requiring more extreme stimulation tomorrow. Pleasure becomes tolerance, requiring increasing doses. Freedom becomes slavery to appetite. Physical form, 3 heads. Bull, man ram, riding infernal dragon, breathing fire, carrying lance. The 3 heads represent 3 aspects. Animal lust, bull, rational justification man, and stubborn persistence ram. The dragon represents untamed desire. Fire represents consuming passion. In Book of Tobit, Asmodeus kills 7 husbands before they can consummate marriage. He doesn't grant pleasure but destroys through obsessive desire. Modern manifestations, porn addiction, escalating need for stimulation, serial infidelity, never satisfied, always seeking new, sexual violence, desire divorced from consent empathy, power addiction, never enough control, fame obsession, insatiable need for attention. His domain, Asmodeus's hell regions feature eternal unsatisfied desire, souls craving but never fulfilled, pursuing pleasures that turn to ash, experiencing arousal without satisfaction, hunger without nourishment, perfect justice. Uncontrolled appetite becomes eternal unfulfillable craving. Why he's dangerous. Lust feels natural. It is natural, corrupted. Asmodeus takes healthy desire and amplifies it into addiction while making it feel like freedom, self-expression, empowerment. His victims believe they're pursuing pleasure when actually enslaved to appetite, think they're expressing sexuality when actually destroying intimacy, imagine they're free when actually completely controlled. The progression is predictable. Experimentation, turn, regular use, tolerance, compulsion, life destruction. But each stage feels like choice until suddenly it's addiction, and choice has vanished. The god of material wealth, Mammon, whose name literally means wealth or money, represents greed, avarice, and material obsession. Jesus specifically warned, "You cannot serve both God and Mammon," elevating wealth itself to demonic status. Greed isn't wanting financial security, it's making material accumulation your purpose, measuring worth by net worth, believing money equals value. The greed mechanism, Mammon convinces you that abundance is always elsewhere, that current wealth is insufficient, that one more acquisition will finally satisfy. He creates perpetual scarcity consciousness regardless of actual abundance. Billionaires feel poor under Mammon's influence. $100 billion isn't enough because someone has $200 billion. Comparison makes contentment impossible. The bar constantly moves. Enough becomes never enough. Physical form, sometimes depicted as merchant or banker, sometimes as demon surrounded by gold and jewels. The wealth itself becomes prison, buried in treasure, suffocating under accumulation, enslaved by possessions. Mammon is often shown chained to his wealth, revealing the truth: you don't possess possessions, they possess you. Modern manifestations, late-stage capitalism, profit über alles, hoarding wealth, accumulating beyond any possible need, measuring human value by economic productivity, environmental destruction for profit, souls sold for paychecks. His domain, Mammon's hell, features rooms filled with gold, jewels, currency, all worthless, unable to be used, just present. Souls surrounded by treasure they cannot spend, wealth that brings no pleasure, accumulation that has no purpose. Perfect justice. Those who valued accumulation over use receive eternal accumulation with eternal inability to use. Why he's dangerous. Entire civilizations worship Mammon. Economic systems are his temples, stock markets his altars, banks his churches. More than any prince, Mammon operates openly, accepted, celebrated. His corruption feels rational. Of course you need money, security, comfort. He takes reasonable concern and twists it into obsession, sufficiency into insatiability, means into ends. Mammon's ultimate trick, making you sacrifice real wealth, time, relationships, health, soul, pursuing symbolic wealth, numbers in accounts. You trade what has value for what represents value until you're rich and empty. The original sin, the highest fall. Lucifer, the light bringer, the morning star, the most beautiful angel, governs pride, the sin from which all others flow. Pride isn't self-confidence, it's self-deification, the belief that you are the center, the measure, the god of your universe. The pride mechanism. Lucifer doesn't make you think you're better than you are. He makes you the reference point for evaluating everything. Not am I good, but am I better than them? Not is this true, but do I believe it? Not what should I do, but what do I want? Pride is ultimate autonomy, rejecting all authority except self, refusing to bow to God, nature, or truth if it conflicts with ego. It's Lucifer's own sin, preferring to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Physical form. Lucifer retains angelic beauty even after fall, not grotesque demon but magnificent being corrupted. This is crucial. Pride doesn't make you ugly, it makes you beautiful and wrong. Lucifer is tragedy of perfection, choosing darkness, beauty embracing corruption. He appears in light, false light, but light nonetheless, as angel, fallen but angelic, with wings broken but present. The corruption is subtle. You could mistake him for holy. Modern manifestations. Narcissism, clinical self-worship, moral superiority, using righteous causes for self-elevation, refusing help, admitting need threatens ego, inability to apologize, ego can't admit wrong. His domain. Lucifer's hell regions are solitary confinement, souls completely isolated, no others to measure against, just eternal self-reflection revealing emptiness. Perfect justice. Those who made themselves center of universe exist in universe of one, forever. Why he's most dangerous. Pride is the primary sin, the one Lucifer committed, the one that caused his fall, the foundation for all others. Every other sin contains pride, greed, I deserve more, lust, my desire matters most, wrath, my judgment is absolute, envy, I should have what they have, gluttony, my appetite is priority, sloth, my comfort matters most. Pride is refusing to recognize anything greater than self, not just greater beings, but greater goods, truth, love, service. It's ultimate autonomy. You become your own god, worship yourself, serve only self-interest. Lucifer's victims don't realize they're proud. Pride's nature is blindness to itself. The proudest people believe they're humble. The most self-absorbed think they're selfless. Pride creates perfect delusion. The tragic irony, Lucifer remains magnificent, intelligent, powerful, beautiful, but eternally wrong, forever falling, locked in rebellion that can never succeed, but can never be abandoned without admitting error, which pride forbids. He is warning, even perfection corrupts through pride. The highest angel became lowest demon. The light-bearer chose darkness. Beauty embraced ugliness, not through weakness but through strength, corrupted by pride. And he offers same choice, autonomy at the cost of truth, self-worship at the price of wisdom, reign in darkness rather than serve in light. We've examined the 7 princes of hell, ascending from Belphegor's apathy to Lucifer's pride. Each governs their sin absolutely, commands millions of demons, and operates at power levels beyond human comprehension. These aren't entities you summon. These are forces you're already channeling every time you commit their particular sin. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. Each time you engage these, you become temporary vessel for prince's energy. The princes don't need to personally tempt you. They've embedded their corruption into human psychology so deeply that sin feels natural, justified, even righteous. But understanding them is power. Recognizing which prince operates through which sin allows conscious resistance. You can't fight what you don't see, can't resist what you don't recognize. The 7 princes rule hell's dominion, but they only rule you if you let them. Subscribe to Eternal Enigma for more explorations into the powers that shape our world from shadows. Until next time, know your enemy, guard your soul, and remember, the deadliest sins feel most righteous. The princes have been revealed. The question is, which one has been ruling you?